Okay, so first question, because I haven't met you until now. If you don't mind, can you say and spell your name for me, please?
It's Keelan Darby, Keelin Darby.
Perfect. And wife?
I'm Ben Darby's wife. Yes, ma'am.
Right, okay. So we're talking specifically about the murder. It was overturned, the conviction. So talk to me just about your thoughts and your feelings on this. Is a step in the right direction, you were saying?
Yeah, absolutely. It's a step in the right direction for us, obviously, because it directly affects my husband and his case, but it also directly affects law enforcement in Alabama and in the nation. The courts overruled his murder conviction, stating that he has to be viewed as a police officer, which he wasn't during the trial. So this is a huge success for us, and we're looking forward to the next steps.
And what kind of message do you think that this sends?
Definitely, it allows law enforcement and lets them know that the Court of Criminal Appeals understands that they are viewed in a different light, and that goes back to it's on the law books in Alabama. You have to view an officer's use of force or how they conduct themselves during a force incident by the way of a trained officer with the same or similar training. In Alabama, all officers are trained the way that Ben Darby was, the way that I am, the way that Huntsville Police Department is. So the fact that the courts are recognizing that and allowing that to be precedent now is a huge deal.
And just walk me through how this process has been for you and for Ben. Have you talked to him since this happened?
Yeah, so I found out around 9:45 on Friday morning, and I have to wait for him to call me. I'm not allowed to call him. So I found out, and I just asked God to get him to call me, because I can't contact him. And about 10 minutes went by, and he called me, and the phone connected, and he said, "Hey," and I said, "Hey, we won the appeal," and I started crying, and he was really happy, and we've talked about it several times since Friday morning. We're not out of the woods yet, like I said, but we do have a game plan. I've spoken with our lawyers, and they are working on getting him home, but there's just a lot of steps that we have to take to get to that spot.
And then we were talking about just, the appeal and everything. You were not able to sit in on the trial, right?
Correct.
But obviously there were some errors that occurred. What would you like to see differently this time?
Yeah, so obviously I'd like to be allowed as his wife to stand with him in support during his trial, if we go back to that route, because again, it is his right to a public trial. So I'd like to see that. I'd like to see the jury properly instructed, as they weren't this past time, and that's what the appeal court obviously came out through. And then I'd like to see the jury to be able to hear the whole facts of the case, to hear all the evidence, exculpatory evidence that wasn't allowed for the jury to be heard, that needs to be heard, because it makes a difference in the outcome of this case. Ben's not a murderer, and for people that you have to understand the case law, you have to understand the Alabama law that protects police officers in a use of force investigation.
And just what do you want, the people at home watching this to take away from this?
This is a positive step for us. It's a good step forward in this case. Like I said, we're not out of the woods yet, but we are thankful for all of those who have stood behind us the last 19 months. It's not over, and we have a lot of fight left, and we need people's help also. So they can go to our website at standwithdarby.com and see ways to help us, and just if they don't know about this case, learn more about it from them.
I'm sure that support is what has helped, got you through all this.
Yeah, it's definitely been a big encouragement, but we go back to our faith, and that is our stronghold, and then all these people that have come behind us with encouraging words and just financial support and being there for me, and reaching out to him, it definitely helps us see the light at the end of the tunnel.
Is there anything that I didn't mention that you want to mention that I missed, or that you would like us to include?
We are just thankful for the court's decision this past Friday. It's something that we've been waiting for, and we're excited to take the next steps in Ben's legal process to get this completed.
Kind of a day-by-day thing at this point,
It
right?
is, yeah. It is a day-by-day thing. A lot of people have asked me, when is he coming home? We're waiting on the process, and right now we're waiting on the Attorney General to make an opinion. So he has until April 7th, from what I understand, to do that, and then we can go from there. So I know everyone wants to see him. I obviously do myself, but he'll be home soon.